8 tips to eliminate the time suck in prospecting. This is what we're talking about today. You feel like you need to be prospecting, you need to be having conversations, connecting with people, building rapport, you need to be doing the things that you totally avoid doing. And you feel like it's just so tedious. I don't know, maybe you get anxiety when you think about prospecting. Maybe you get anxiety thinking about how much time it takes to just have one-on-one interactions all day, every day. So I want to share with you some tips on how you can alleviate this. I got to tell you, really building relationships, communicating, learning how to do the whole prospecting thing is really important when it comes to building a business, especially online. You got to be meeting people constantly. But I will tell you, being very transparent, that this is something that I grew very tired of using as my main strategy to create, sales and signups and leads and all that kind of stuff. Like one-on-one conversations became so exhausting when that was the only thing that I was doing. And I want to help you get to a point to where, yeah, you still do it because it's important to connect and talk with people. But how nice would it be to be one of those people that can go to the beach and come home and see that you made sales, or go out to dinner and a movie with your family and come home and see that you made sales, right? My name is Jen Johnson, and I am here to help empower you and educate you on how to build a lifestyle business, turning your passion, purpose into profit. And I'm going to give you some tips. The first thing that I want to share with you when it comes to, building, eliminating the time suck from prospecting, right? This is the main thing. One of the main things you need to realize, you need to know where people are hanging out, okay? And not just anybody. Drop a 2 below if you feel like you never know who to talk to, you can't find the right people to talk to, you're not sure, who you should be talking to. It's really important that you figure that out, because you don't want to just be aimlessly wandering around on Facebook. Do you ever feel like you're just wandering around and you're spending all day on there, but nothing's really getting accomplished? You want to be very intentional with what you're doing, and make sure that you know exactly like the areas that the people are hanging out in that would actually want your business, product, or service, whatever it is that you're offering. You want to put that thing in front of people who already want to buy that. Because one thing, and this is something my mentor taught me a long time ago, shout out Diane Hockman, marketing is all about preparing people to buy. So if you target people and reach out to people and connect with people that were already planning on buying what you offer anyways, don't you think it would make it so much easier to make a sale? Yes or yes? I think the answer is yes, right? So it's all about preparing people to buy. So if that's the case, go figure out where the people are hanging out that would want what you have to offer. What are some other leaders that are maybe offering something congruent, or maybe it's a competitor, or maybe there's so many products out there when it comes to health and wellness, when it comes to beauty and skincare and travel and all these things. There's always competing companies. So why would these people rather work with you? Why would these people rather want your product versus your competitors? Go find out where they're hanging out at. And this is where it takes some research. This is the boring part. You got to do a little bit of research, go on Google, kind of figure out some different places, whether it be on Facebook. If your constant jam is Facebook, look on Facebook. There's groups, there's different, different network marketing companies and all that kind of stuff where you can network with people who are alongside you, maybe in the same niche, different niche, but they can all lead you to a network that may be interested in what you have to offer. Number 2 is you need to get intentional with your actions. So what is your goal? What are you looking to accomplish? Is it sales? Is it leads? Is it signups? Is it customers? Your goal is to meet and build new relationships, obviously, but you also want to be making money, right? Like, yes, we love helping people. Yes, we love, being able to serve others. Of course, I love doing that, but I also need to put food on the table for my family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you want to make sure that you're intentional with your day's work, that when you get on Facebook, you're intentional with the action that you're taking. If you ever feel like you are just, on Facebook all day, every day, and then at the end of the day, you feel like you just got nothing accomplished, right? So you want to make sure you know exactly, like, when I'm on Facebook, like, I'm never just like aimlessly. I've really trained my brain to not aimlessly wander, aimlessly get distracted, and with all that stuff, right? So you need to make sure you're intentional. Make sure the actions you're taking align with the goals that you have set. A lot of times, people feel, I've had some conversations today where they're giving me this whole list of things they need to do or the things that they're wondering about and they're not sure of, and they haven't really, it's important that you make a decision on what you want to focus on, because a lot of times people will ask themselves questions like, well, I want to start this, I want to look into this company, or I want to sign up with this company, but my question is like, what about this and what about that, and how do I know if I need to do this, or how do I know where the people are, or what's your system, or how does this work, or how does the training, what are you going to offer me, this and that. They want all these details before they even make the decision that that's where they want to spend their time. That's where they want to build their business. That's where they want to plant their flag. It's so much easier to go in sequential order of things that you need to do, because you'll start to overwhelm yourself if you don't. If you're continuing to, add more and more questions to your plate, all that does is create more indecisiveness and more insecurity to actually make the decision. So you want to make sure that you are actually making your decision of like, hey, these are the goals I have. This is the products and services that I offer. So what other questions do you have now, right? You've already made those decisions, but ask the right questions to yourself in the appropriate time and season that you're in. And I'll go over that with you. So number 3 is make sure your actions align with the outcome of your goal. If you're building a business and say you're in the stage of like, you need to build your audience, right? A lot of times people go, well, I just need to run ads, or they want to go to the biggest way to do it possible, when there's so many organic ways you can start out doing it. And honestly, you want to start out organically because you can't automate what you don't know how to do, right? So you really have to make sure you're starting out with the appropriate steps, with the appropriate process that you need to go through to achieve that goal, right? And maybe you have these ginormous goals, but you got to break those goals down into smaller steps and take the right action. Again, this eliminates the overwhelm, and stop chasing what everybody else is doing. Okay, I see this a lot. There's a new thing that comes out, a new marketing technique or a new tool or a new resource, and people just run to that thing and forget all about what they were focused on. And it's important that you really stick to your guns. For me, it's always been, I love writing to my list. I love blogging. I love I love Facebook. Like, I really don't hang out anywhere else but on Facebook. Like, I'll distribute content elsewhere, but I really just hang out on Facebook. That's my jam. This is where my peeps are. You want to be very okay with not trying to do 100 things at one time. Get laser focused and say, okay, I have these 2 or 3 goals. I really want to tackle them. These are the things I need to focus on. It's going to take so many things off of your to-do list that it's going to really feel like you lost 100 pounds. Seriously. Number 4 is recognizing the stage that you are in. So I talked about there's different seasons. Maybe you're in a season of needing to build your audience. Maybe you're in a season of where you just need to be following up with a lot of prospects you've been talking to. You want to understand that in the beginning, it's going to always be very slow. So if you haven't been diligently meeting new people, starting new conversations, building rapport, and presenting what you have to offer to people, you're not going to get results right away. Like, you need to fill that pipeline. You need to fill that pipeline with people that you need to start talking to. And I think of it more as like an assembly line. So, if you haven't been getting results and you feel like you don't have anybody on your list, you don't have anybody to follow up with, you're just kind of in this like stuck zone, then you need to start the assembly line. So that first phase is going to be, okay, I need to meet new people. I need to have conversations with said people. So that's the first line, right? Meet new people. And then the next thing is start these conversations with people. Then the next part of the assembly line is going to be to actually move that conversation into sharing what it is that you do. And if people are interested in that thing, then you can actually present to them, right? So now you have 3 little pieces to your assembly line. Meet new people, conversate, transition into, seeing if they're open to an opportunity. And then you got to start the follow-up process. So now there's 4 pieces to your assembly line. If you don't have those different components filled with people at all times, you're not going to see results. Like, that's just how it's going to go, because you have to keep a constant flow. It's a funnel, right? They always say fill your funnel. You have to keep a constant flow of people coming in that you are constantly having intentional conversations with, right? Like, just because I meet a new person, it doesn't mean I'm going to sign them up into my business, but I do want to see what they're up to. I do want to see how things are going for them. If there's anything I can help them with, if there's anything that they can help me with, you want to be very cognizant of who can help who when you're having a conversation. Okay. I got on the phone the other day with a gal that I had just met, and I'm not one to typically do a lot of that all the time. Because again, I'm looking for more leveraged ways to, I have more leveraged ways now to build my business. And I really thought for sure, like, I would be able to probably assist her with stuff, but it turned out she actually was kind of a big deal. I was like, whoa, man, she's really accomplished a lot. She's like a top earner in her company, and I had no idea. And so I really just wanted to, she's happy doing what she's doing. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, but we wanted to keep that communication open. And I flat out told her, I'm like, look, if people come to me and like my business and my opportunity isn't their cup of tea, I'm stoked to know that I can recommend them to check your stuff out, because it's a completely different thing, and maybe that's more that person's style, right? And now I know another really good leader that I could send people to, and I would know that they would be taken care of, because that's really what networking is all about. So, but recognizing the stage that you're in. So if you're in the stage of needing to just start conversations, have that be your focus. Like, that's the action you need to be taking, right? And then as you're starting those conversations, work on those extra components to your assembly line to start, connecting the dots and moving people down the pipeline, and then figuring out, are they in, are they out? Are they someone I can help? Are they someone that can connect me to someone else? Number 5 is you need to be aware of obstacles. Like, drop a 4. Do you ever come up with obstacles, hang-ups, challenges? You can't figure something out. Then you're just like, well, I'm going to go grab lunch, right? Hey, here's a little secret. You're going to hear no a lot, okay? Like, you will hear no more than you hear yes. I know, it's a total shocker, right? So, but this is the reality. If you already know that, like, don't let that hang you up, because it's like a fact that that's going to happen, right? Learn to just move forward, plunge through, be a solution provider for yourself. If you can learn to solve your own problems, I promise you'll be able to easily solve other people's problems, right? So make sure you are aware of obstacles that are going on. Number 6, set time limits for yourself, because again, you don't want to be at your computer for 18 hours, get nothing accomplished, have no conversations, present to nobody, and then lay your head down at night and think, well, that was not productive, and be stressed out, right? Get no sleep and all that stuff. Set time limits. I suggest maybe 30 minutes of just starting new conversations, 30 minutes of just following up with the people that you've already presented to, 30 minutes of, just actually engaging on Facebook with other people, right? Like action-based items, but just set it so where you're focused. There's no distractions. That's number 7. You need to eliminate distractions, right? Get rid of like every other tab. Don't have 50 tabs open on your computer, and then also, be trying to eat and trying to do this and trying to do 20 things at a time. Like, really focus on the activity. Spend 30 minutes to do an income producing activity that has to do with prospecting, and you will get so much more done in that 30 minutes than you would in like 3 hours, I promise you. Here's something interesting. You need to realize that prospecting is not the end all be all to building your business. Now, when you're first getting started, if you're building an audience, if you're, working on building up engagement, and, you're just able to still keep up with all the conversations that are taking place. After a while, when you grow your audience, like for me, I don't have enough hours in the day to respond to the amount of people that engage on my stuff, the amount of people that are messaging me in my inbox, the amount of people that are constantly coming towards me, which is a good problem to have, but you want to create more leverage. Like, can you honestly answer, how many of you want to prospect all day, every day for the rest of your life? I mean, I don't know many people who absolutely are obsessed with prospecting. So it's okay for you to admit that. It's not that you don't like talking to people. You don't have to feel guilty about it. I used to really think like I felt bad, because I'm like, gosh, this is just tedious. Like, one-on-ones, it's like every time you start a new conversation, I feel like it's a blind date, like that blind date conversation that you have to have. I'm like, I am just like, this gives me anxiety. Like, I don't know. I love being live. I love doing webinars. I love speaking on stage. That's what I love. I love being in front of a crowd. I'm a singer. I'm a performer. I love being in front of an audience, which is why I love doing Facebook Lives, because I know like there's people paying attention, and I want to give to people that are paying attention. So if it's not for you, that's okay. There's other ways that you can go about doing this and create, not only is there other ways, but there's more leveraged ways. There's ways that you will want to use on a long-term basis to create that real beach money that people talk about. Like, when I think beach money, I don't think,
oh my gosh, let's prospect and talk one-on-one to people for 12 hours every day. Like, dude, that is exhausting. I did that at my day job, okay? I made over 100 calls a day to leads at my last job.
And it was, actually, I really liked my job, but it was tiring to make 100 calls a day. I'm just like, dude, like, it's draining. It's like, it takes the fun out of it, right? So if you want a more leveraged way to be bringing in leads, sales, and signups into your business, and you want to speak to people on a bigger platform, if you're already doing lives and you're already getting out there in front of an audience, why not do that? It's like presenting your business opportunity, presenting your product service, all that kind of stuff via presentations, via webinars. I mean, think about it. You could go to Starbucks and have 5 meetings, or you can hop on a Zoom or a webinar and just knock out a 60-minute training and tell people, hey, if you're into this, let me know. I'll be happy to get you started. Like, how much easier does that sound, right? This is basically what I'm doing. My girl, Kate McShea, she is a 7-figure earner in this industry, and she reached out to me. I had seen that she was actually relaunching her 60-minute enrollment method, which is exactly what I'm sharing with you. You want to start doing to create a higher leveraged opportunity to go out there and reach the masses with your business, product, or service, instead of one-on-one prospecting all day, every day for the rest of your life. Like, this is another approach using Kate's 60-minute enrollment method. Kate is doing an actual free webinar, so you can meet Kate. You'll learn more about her. If you love what she's talking about with her 60-minute enrollment method, pick that up. I hope those tips help you out, though. Really, you want to eliminate things that are a time suck, because I know that's one thing people struggle with, is not having enough time. We have kids, we have school, we have work, we have life, and not having enough time to build your business is like the #1 business killer, honestly. Like, you need to have time to do it. And if you can find a more leveraged approach to build your business and get your opportunity or your products or services in front of a mass amount of people via presentations, like, think meeting up at Starbucks, but with like 50 people, 100 people, and they're all listening to, you know, what you have to say, and they can make that decision. And you're just gonna, again, it's gonna be such a time saver, and you're gonna see way more results, and it's gonna get you good at presenting. It's actually gonna not only help your presenting game for webinars, but also for lives, for posts, it's going to help your marketing overall. Hope this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, my inbox is always open, so you can reach out to me there, and I will talk to you soon. Adios.